Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvald Grim here and welcome to another video. Oh Sigvald, Collector vs Superman build guide, really? You made the video where you said don't build Collector vs Superman, overrated. I still stand by that video, but I realized he is a decent replacement option until you get a Black Manta or a Batman Who Laughs. Because the thing about Collector vs Superman is, he's gonna be very dependent on Brainiac. And Brainiac is gonna buff the crap out of him and he's gonna deal a lot of damage, but as soon as you get a Batman Who Laughs or a Manta, those characters will replace Collector vs Superman in the Brainiac team. But if you're not at that point yet, he can be a decent replacement option, or if you wanna build him regardless, I'll have this build guide for you over here. And look, I'm going to tell you the most optimal build for him, but you, in your pursuit of that most optimal build, need to be realistic, because you most likely don't have him at 5 stars or 6 stars yet to unlock all the talents. You most likely don't even have all the gears. Oh, by the way, I can unlock a talent here. Or is it just me with not having all the gears? So in terms of the build that I'm gonna tell you, because I've seen some people making some mistakes in regards to that, you need to max out the percentage chances that I tell you to max out and have attack as the last priority, because talents are expensive and talents are hard to get. So I suggest that until you get to the point where you get a ton of credits to spend to max out his talents, you make sure you replace attack rolls that I would suggest on the gears with crit chance and crit damage rolls until you get your max percentages, and then you'll further down the line if you want to replace them back with attack as soon as you get yourself maxed out talents. But yeah, this is gonna be a perfect build. So that's what we're going to focus on. Now, in terms of what stats does this man need? First of all, I was thinking about making a damage dealer guide and also a tank guide for him, but the tank build is kind of worthless, because my man, he's got the special 2. The special 2 makes him invulnerable to damage in any regard. This man straight up does not take damage from super moves if you get this to the point where it's more than 100%, so it's kind of pointless to build him as tank, and I know he can get damaged by something still in arena, but I suggest going full damage dealer, and it's kind of pointless to go for tank build since you got this thing, which is itself the best tank build that you can get. Now, in terms of dealing damage, what do we need to get? First, I mentioned that we're going to use him with Brainiac, and we're going to get into the exact teams that you want to use a little bit later on, but that means he will receive crit chance and crit damage from Brainiac. With that in mind, what stats does he need? First of all, he does not need armor pierce on basic attack hits at all, because some other characters like Harley Quinn, for example, are gonna be very reliant on armor pierce on basic attack hits, and that's gonna be a very relevant stat for them. Oh, this is, by the way, the secondary count. I don't really have that maxed out to any regard over here. But yeah, those characters are going to be very reliant on that because they deal most of their damage through basic attack hits. But with Collector vs Superman kind of fills the same role as Skinflint Sakoman in terms of the fact that he deals damage with his basic attack hits, and he also deals with damage with his specials. So if you were to put some armor pierce on his talents, that would be kind of worthless, because in situations where the enemy has defense, he would still not deal damage with his specials. So it's either avoid fights that have high defense in raids and soul raids, or reduce the defense through other means like classic Superman. So armor pierce will not be worth on this dude. Lethal attack chance will not be worth, since we're gonna get that with Brainiac, and he's kind of not worth using without the Brainiac in there. So we're going to mainly rely on crit chance, crit damage, attack, and fast attack chance actually. Look, with the fast actions, there's 2 things to keep in mind about this. This is gonna heavily increase your damage unless you're using Gold Blades on him or unless you're using Beta Club on him. But those are not gonna be the cases for the most part, because look, if you do have Beta Club, 99% of the people watching this video who already have Beta Club most likely already have a Manta in there, and already have a Batman Who Laughs in there, or at the very least one of them, so why are you building this dude in the first place? But look, if you still want to build him in that scenario, I will tell you what to do if you want the Beta Club build on this dude. And secondly, you're not gonna really be using All Blades on this dude, because in League Raids he kind of sucks anyway, so good luck with that. But in Soul Raids, where he's gonna be that beast of a budget damage dealer that he is, he's gonna get better results out of Dark Metal cards than All Blades from level 2 Dark Metal cards, so you're gonna switch to Dark Metal cards pretty soon. Until that point, fast action skill is still gonna be decent for you. But yeah, he's gonna stay in there and builds a lot of combo for himself, so fast actions is also gonna be necessary. So those are the stats that I'm going to center this build around. Again, it's a perfect build for perfect stats. Don't strictly follow it, because you're gonna have a hard time with talents. You might be missing one gears. Just make sure you max those stats that I told previously, like the crit damage, crit chance, and fast actions. Now, getting into the exact build that you're going to need over here. So this man is pretty straightforward, because usually characters get have some weird stats or get some from the gear base, but this dude gets no crit chance or crit damage from the gear base, and his stats in terms of crit chance and crit damage are the base ones, not altered in any way, shape, or form. So it's gonna be basic as it gets. Now, perfect build is the following: 3 critical attack chance talents, 3 critical attack damage talents, 1 critical attack chance gear roll, and 2 critical attack damage gear rolls, 4 fast attack chance gear rolls, and 8 attack gear rolls. That's gonna put you at a total of 75% critical attack chance. It's gonna be 78 in total, overlapping by just 3%, so that's fine. And you're gonna get 300% critical attack damage, overlapping just by 2%, so yet again, that's gonna be fine. And 69% fast attack chance, which is generally believed that it's the sweet spot to be with fast attack chance. Now for the 7 talents, though, it's gonna be a long way there, and that's why I'm not including it into the build, really. For the 7 talent, you have a few options. So you can either get lethal attack damage on the 7 talent, because if you're gonna use Brainiac, you're gonna get a lethal chance from there, or you can get attack. Or, if your build is not finished yet and you're still running with Dumpster Fire talents, you can get some crit chance and crit damage to fill up the missing crit chance and crit damage in your build. So that's definitely gonna be the case. Now, if you're gonna use Beta Club on this dude, though yet again that should be most likely for entertainment purposes, because most likely at that point you also have Black Manta or Ben Hulasa. But if you're gonna do that, all you need to do is to remove the fast attack chance from him and replace it with attack on the girls, or just leave the build like that, because it's not gonna make that much of a difference. Let's be fair and honest here. Now, in terms of his abilities, what should you max? You're going to need to max all of them, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna kind of try to pinpoint you in some regards here. So this thing is gonna make him an absolute beast in Arena, in Champions Arena, so this definitely needs to be maxed, because he literally takes no damage, and this is also useful for raids and soul raids, because if your team for him it's Dumpster Fire, as it is in my secondary account over here, you're not going to be able to tank super move with them and they'll die, and you don't want them dying, for the most part, depends on the characters. But if you get this beyond the point where it reflects 100% of the damage, he's literally not going to take any damage from the super move, and he's going to be able to tank that himself. So that can be quite useful in some scenarios, but this is mainly max usually for Arena Champions Arena. Now for raids and soul raids, this thing is going to be your main damage dealing ability, so max this one out. But this thing is also going to be quite useful when you try to get yourself some power, and in theory you can spam this into an infinite combo while the enemy is in the corner, but it's not really an infinite combo because it's not reliable. You're not going to be able to chain it every single time, so that's why I don't like to do that. And also overall it's lazy gameplay that yields less damage than this one, but all of them need to be maxed. I would suggest starting out with a special tree if you're gonna use him as a damage dealer, but those two things are definitely worth putting up there. Now, when it comes to teams that you're gonna use, we have already established that you're gonna use Brainiac with him. My boy Brainiac. Here, because of the additional attack and especially little attack chance and little attack damage that he gives. Keep in mind, because I've seen people do this mistake, keep in mind, he transfers a percentage of his lethal attack chance and lethal attack damage that he already has. So for lethal attack chance, you're going to be spamming special 1, and that's how you increase your lethal attack chance. You're just going to do special 1s, stack them all the way up to 10 stacks, and that's going to be the point where you have all the lethal attack damage that you need. But lethal attack chance, you need to have it on the build of Brainiac. You need to put some lethal attack chance on my boy Brainiac for it to be transferable to other characters, because I've seen people being like, yo, Sigval, my Black Manta does less damage when I pair Brainiac with him, what's the problem? Well, you're not giving him any lethal attack chance, my dudes. Make sure that's sorted out. And as a third character, there is no musts in this regard. Bro, I don't even have Classic Wonder Woman unlocked on the secondary because I was too lazy to play Arena. But yeah, Classic Wonder Woman is definitely a choice. That's worth considering. Then we got another decent choice being Red Hood to extend the duration of the fight. And another decent choice is gonna be kind of Power Girl to help you out with the power generation at the start. if you can't use any of those because you're using them in other teams, then definitely you should put the characters in the teams that are gonna yield the most damage. That's how you're supposed to take priority. Atrocitus can be a decent thing. Silver Bane can be a decent thing for more damage on basic attack hits. So yeah, you kind of got the gist of this. So I think that's it for this video. Yep, that's all I wanted to say. So that being said, oh, and there's also the thing that some people have suggested me, but it's not worth doing. So he's got the passive, right? Like, he's got the passive that's supposed to give him damage. Not this one. This one. Not this one. This one. Bro, no! What? This one! It was this one. It was good on the first attempt. He's gonna receive more damage for each character that gets below a certain amount of health in your team. That's a bunch of bullshit. He does not get damage. At most, he gets base attack. And some people were like, oh, why don't you put a Silver Cyborg in there as a support character for him? You let Silver Cyborg or Martian Manhunter works in the same way with the passive, because they regenerate health while they're out of combat. You put this unit in, it gets damage, it triggers it once. You tag him out, he regenerates, you tag him back in. It's not worth doing every single time I try doing that, or with the Paradigm of Brainiac, the damage was simply not worth it because that passive of his is Dumpster Fire and is lying to you, it's not giving you more damage. So when I would go out of my way to trigger this on purpose, I would actually deal more damage, I would deal less damage. Like, don't get me wrong, if this activates, just as you do the battle, if Brainiac gets a little bit damaged, if Red Hood gets a little bit damaged or something and this activates, it's good. It's good. It's slightly more damage, but it's not worth activating on purpose. But yeah, this was for the build guide. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the video. Dislike it. Hit that bell button to get notified for every single upload. And I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.